Hey guys, Ham Solo here, Kilo Zero Foxtrot Yankee Romeo. I am in Canyon Lake, Texas, and I am going to be in the totality of the solar eclipse. And so I came down here purposefully in order to record the solar eclipse QSO party that I'm going to participate in for HamSci, where we're going to be giving them data on propagation studies for the solar eclipse. It was forecasted to be sunny, and so there was going to be no clouds, and it was going to be sun. You can see here that we have significant cloud cover, and actually in the foreground there is rain, and there is rain forecasted for Monday, the solar eclipse day. And so we're going to have to see how that goes and what I'm going to be able to set up. My intent is to have my QRP radio set up. I have brought some items from MFJ that were given to me by Rich at MFJ. I have a 6-position antenna switch. I have 4 different antennas. I've got 4 different tuners. I was going to probably be on single sideband and FT8, probably mostly FT8. I know that's going to be a little bit boring, but that's the intent. So stay tuned. Let's see what happens. Alright, hey guys, Ham Solo here. It is the day of the eclipse. We are at, I'd say, 11 a.m. Texas time. I have some items set up. I just got my first FT8 QSO for the QSO party, for the solar eclipse QSO party on FT8. Alright, so let me give you a little bit of the setup. Apparently, I just brought some excessive stuff. I thought I would be able to set up 4 antennas, be on different bands on each one, run it through my N1MM logging software, and should have really tried to set the thing up beforehand, which I thought I did, had it going okay. And the problem is that I don't have the right cables, and so I didn't have the cable, apparently micro USB, that goes from the 705 to the laptop, and so I'm not able to use the N1MM logging software, which is unfortunate. What I have is my iPad. It is using the program, which I don't remember the number off the top of my head. I think it's called SDR Control for iPad software, and it has its own log. It's doing the FT8, and so right now it looks like somebody is trying to contact me from Florida. Signal is fairly weak, so I'm letting it try to run through the process. If it'll capture it. No, doesn't look like that one came through. So the intent is got the FT8 going, have the iPad doing the SDR control, running the FT8. It's tuned up on the band. It's throwing out, looks like 3.4 watts. Just picked up somebody else. He's also in Florida. So, alright, so the intent of what's happening during the eclipse here is the University of Scranton, I believe in Pennsylvania, is sponsoring a project called the Solar Eclipse QSO Party. And it's HamSci, HAMSCI projects. And what they're doing is they're studying the ionosphere and how does it couple with the neutral atmosphere and with space. How does solar eclipse impact ionospheric structure and dynamics? And so they're doing that by using amateur radio operators to use single sideband voice communications, FT8 digital communications, and or Morse code or CW communications to just test how propagation is affected by the solar eclipse. And so you're going to operate for a couple hours before, during, and a couple hours, say, after the eclipse. And then they will take all that data from everybody that submits and say, okay, was there a difference when the sun went into totality as it passed over different areas? Did that affect propagation in different regions from one person connecting to another person and so forth? That's kind of the idea. So if you can see over my shoulder, it looks like maybe the potential for the rain to move in might be happening. So that was kind of a fear. All right, so let me show you the current setup. So I have the IC705 here. I am using the MFJ 929 Auto Tuner. That was supplied by Rich at MFJ. I did have my laptop open for N1MM software. Apparently didn't have the correct cable that would go between the radio and the laptop, which is what I thought I had, but apparently I didn't have that. Have my iPad instead running, and this software is SDR control, and so it's running internet Bluetooth between my iPad and the radio for the 705 is running Bluetooth between the two. I had brought my solar panel, but there is no sun. So kind of hard to use it during the eclipse, and there's no sun anyway. But Rich from MFJ also gave me the MFJ 1701 antenna switch. It's a 6-port antenna switch, and I was going to be using that with 4 different antennas, but I apparently ran out of coax cable, and I don't know where my extra coax cable is. And so again, it's one of those things when you just start forgetting everything in the world. And I thought I had everything set up because I brought boxes and boxes and boxes of things, and then I end up not having the right components. I do have a choke, ferrite choke, running into the comm switch of the antenna switcher. I only have 2 antennas running out of it right now. One is my dipole, which is up in the tree, and I have one arm running to this pole. I have the other arm running to this tree, and so that dipole is kind of fanned out, and I'm getting signals right now. Looks like on a easterly heading. My second antenna is here, and I will look up the number. I believe it's written on here just to make sure. Yeah, it's the MFJ 1898 40 meter through 6 meter telescopic. Alright, so I know that there's a lot of reflection in the screen, but getting a good little mix there, mostly east as a fan. I'm only running 5 watts, so this is 5 watts out, and you can sit here. The tuner is saying about 3-ish watts. Now it went to 5 watts. So it's doing 5 watts out on FT8, and I'm getting, again, sorry about the screen. Let me see if I can tilt it. Getting a neat little distribution there. Just contacted one of my buddies, Brian KE0CO on DMR, and so I've got my hotspot there, got the DMR radio up, and here he goes. He's in Colorado, so he's going to see if he can hit me. He said I was -8.
Yeah, let's see. In Washington State, I'm keeping an eye out for you now. KE0CO.
And so he would be the first person west of the Mississippi, if he can get in on the signal, and you know, that'll be good. That'll give me an indication of how it's getting out on both sides. I know the camera didn't show this, but it's getting fairly dark. It is, should be within 2 minutes of totality. Right at this point, it should be coming over the lake in about a minute and a half. The camera is really enhancing the light, but it looks much darker than what it appears there. It is. It looks like the same light as about 9 p.m., right? Maybe 8, 9 p.m. Should be 100% totality almost. It is very dark. All the street lights came on. I know the camera's making it look much brighter than it is. Street lights. Street lights. It's very dark now. Regular eyes, it's almost hard to see. We're in totality right now. So I'll try to talk over what's going on here. I know it's a little bit boring. So I'm running FT8 while the totality is going on. I started 2.5 hours before, and then I did it during, and then I do it for about 2.5 hours after the eclipse. And so on the left is what it looks like during the eclipse. The right is about 15 times faster leading up to it. And the camera was pulling in all available light. So on the left, during the eclipse, I mean, it looks like nighttime, but the camera is enhancing every single shred of light that's going on. And so now we're going through fast on the right screen. That's the 15 times speed. And you know, it comes and goes. I think we were in totality for maybe 2.5 minutes, but it got extremely dark during that time, but the camera just doesn't show it the same. And here's some of the recordings of the FT8 and FT4. I think right now I'm on FT4, and I was getting fairly good signal quality going out. I know it sounds a little staticky. I put the microphone up close to the radio. It's a little bit noisy. Here is the SDR control software, and I'm just running the QSOs there on FT4, and this was really prevalent during the totality. Is I was using a lot of the FT4 for the majority of the totality as it passed over, just because it was quicker in order to log the contacts. All right, so the vast majority of the eclipse is over in this area, obviously. It is moved now into Canada. It's near Ontario. This is about 50 minutes or so after totality here in Texas. So 50 minutes later, it's now moved into Canada. And I'm still running the programs here. The idea is to keep the propagation study going. I decided not to use the 40-meter antenna at all. I have not switched the switcher, and pretty much stayed on the same frequency of 5 watts. And I think that would be better for data collection. So far, in all, I've gotten 45 QSOs on FT8 and FT4, and pretty good distribution across the U.S. In a 180-degree pattern. So I'm getting nothing basically 180 degrees below me, and I'm right in South Texas. So nothing in the Mexico, Baja, California, and further down into South America. But everything else fanned up across 180 degrees is going pretty good. Just got Virginia right now and Minnesota right before that. And so, again, just collecting data for the study. Well, unfortunately, that was kind of the end of the video. I went probably another 2 hours and 15 minutes after that last little section and got a total of 61 contacts. So 2.5 hours before, during the totality, which was 2.5 minutes long, and then 2.5 hours afterwards, or 2 hours and 20 minutes. Rain moved in, and I quickly dismantled the station and put it in the back of the vehicle I moved kind of in a parking space right near where I was set up. And so I wasn't able to record kind of the ending of the video. So I will put up a map somewhere here on the screen that'll show you communication where I got. I submitted the log pretty much that night to HAMSI and the University of Scranton, and so got it all marked down. Got 61 total FT8 and FT4 contacts on 20 meters, and that was kind of the end of my totality experiment there in Texas. A lot of people who had paid money to come in, I'm sure, were very disappointed that they weren't able to actually see the eclipse where we were with some of the first parts of when it came into the U.S. Down there by San Antonio, Canyon Lake area, Fredericksburg. It was complete cloud cover, and then the rain moved in, and shortly after. And so I'm glad that I was there to do a radio study, which seemed to work out just fine, getting 61 contacts, especially when I was only running 5 watts QRP. And so until next time, this is Ham Solo K0 FYR 73.